Wow, boosted fam. I'm gonna show you somewhere new today. Let's go. Did you see that? Did you see that sign? How about that logo? All right, let's go inside. You gotta open it. As you can see, we in the studio. I got 3 lights strategically placed, so I'm gonna talk in front of them so we're bright. Crazy. First stop is gonna be our desks. Is that boring? Maybe. All right, there's one desk. Wow, there's Chris's desk. That one's Chris's desk. We got a big TV behind us. We'll normally put some YouTube on there, watch some different type of videos and music. You know, the whole shebang. This light is a disaster. Sorry, guys. Those are the shoes that we tied on. Whoop, whoop. Giving those away October 30th. Check out the previous videos if you want to know how to win them. Got a couple storage bins right here. Some screws. Amazon Fire Stick. Wow, headphones. Moving on to our next stop. We got where we house all of our inventory. That's all right behind me in these shelves. Full rolls. It's kind of more for decoration. These ones are colors we don't necessarily use, but it looks cool. Hey, another TV. I don't know, got a weird thing for TVs, don't use them, but I think they look super cool. Here are the laces. You know some of them. There's some unreleased ones. Red 3M, blue 3M, purple 3M. They're coming soon. Can't tell you when. That's our lace section. Those are all Ultra Boost and NMD laces, uncaged. This is where we keep all of our stripes. We have uncaged, Ultra Boost 19. We got NMD and Pod over here. Also got Superstar. Some more laces down here. Crazy. We move on to our Ultra Boost stripe inventory. These are all of our different colors. We have chromes up top, we have color shifts, carbon, solid colors, and all the printed patterns at the bottom. We keep them all stored by either by shoe model. So these are all the Ultra Boost stripes, and we'll have sizes small, medium, large, XL, all packed into the same container, all by color. Moving on from Ultra Boost, we have all of our Yeezy 700 stuff over here to the left. So we have all the different laces, and then we have all the different oval inserts as well. On the bottom shelf, I don't know if you guys can see, these are all kind of extras or ones of previous colors that we have extra inventory of. In case someone does reach out and they're interested in an older set that they've seen on our site, we try to make sure we have a little bit of inventory of everything, so that way that they're not missing out and that we also don't necessarily miss a sale. Thought it'd be cool to show everyone what we have hanging around the office. We just don't want blank walls wherever you're working or wherever your kind of creative space is. Our walls at Boosted Stripes are completely decked out with different things. Each tell their own story. It's all about creating a workplace that inspires you. You know, we want to be inspired every day that we walk in, and that's what this artwork does on our walls, so I'd love to share it with you. First standout piece is right behind me. Let me move away a little bit. That actually is the DeJesus Custom Footwear logo. DeJesus Custom Footwear is one of the first businesses I started with an artist, Dylan DeJesus. This is something that we put together for an art show that we had in, I think it was 2016 or 2017. This hung on the wall. It's actually made of shoelaces. Kind of a funny story about DCF and myself. I would try to visualize something, but I didn't necessarily know how to make it come to life. Dylan, he's the artist, so whenever I told Dylan an idea, it was kind of up to him to bring it to life. And I was like, Dylan, we need a centerpiece for this art show. We need something that's more than just a pair of sneakers because it needs to be huge. And so I was like, yo, what if we use shoelaces and we make your logo? And he goes, oh, Chris, how do you want to do that? And I said, you're the artist, Dylan, but this is what we came up with, and it is so sick. So as you can see, like each hole was drilled. We had sketched out the logo, and then we drilled holes through it, and then we weaved the shoelaces in and out and made sure to have extra at the bottom with different lengths. Also did a rainbow gradient, like we went from white all the way to black. There's a ton of detail. It's super cool. It took a lot of work. Dylan made it. I came up with the idea. We kind of split it. Keeps me inspired. Love this piece. Moving on to the back half of the studio. It's much darker back here. That light bulb's out. It's been out since almost I moved in. They actually switched it and then it went out right away. So basically back here, we use this all as storage. As you can see behind me, we have kind of these bins that we keep scraps in so that we can always be making new stuff. This is the tripod, obviously. So this is where we do all of our photo shoots. Since it's a little bit darker back here, we're able to bring our photo lights and kind of control the lighting. I don't know if you guys, how long you guys have been following, but like our first Boosted Stripes website till now, product photographs are just such a drastic improvement. Actually, the first website we built was with Jason, and he did a great job. You guys might be familiar with the logo behind me, this one. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, Randy Galang. You know, for those of you that don't know who Randy Galang is, he has an amazing story. I think he has over 100,000 followers on Instagram now, but he is a huge sneakerhead. So we were fortunate enough to meet Randy when he came to Chicago from Manila, and he gifted us a couple of these bags. He's very well known throughout the community. He's part of the crew that's Team Early. He gets every release at least 3-4 months in advance. He'll never tell you his sources, don't even try. He always has these shoes. He knows about the drops before other people. To be honest with you, I don't know how much he wants us to tell you. Most people that are posting these brand new shoes before they come out are getting them from Randy. Like, they do not have access to it. Randy has been in the game long enough to know the right people, and he has just built the right relationships. So we feel very fortunate that he stumbled upon us. But we've been friends with him for about 1.5 years now, and he's a super cool guy. We're very grateful that he gave us this. It's pretty cool. Figured, you know, that's another piece that inspires us, so I wanted to show you that. It's this massive picture of the Chinese New Year's with some gold boosted stripes. These were shot by Ill Vibe on Instagram. His real name is Lewis. He's from Philadelphia. He was honestly one of the first people to shoot boosted stripes. We had reached out to a ton of influencers, and he was one of the first ones to give us the time of day. He's a super nice guy, and basically when he had showed us all these photos, we said, hey man, these are really incredible, and we'd love to display your artwork as well as, you know, our products. So we thought it'd be really cool to make a massive poster and hang it in our office from him as just a remembrance, as like one of the first believers in Boosted Stripes and one of the best content producers. So I couldn't be more grateful for him, and it's awesome to be able to come in every day and see one of his great photos. Our cutting station. So you got the computers right here that we use, and that runs this machine. So this is our big commercial cutter. We put some massive rolls or sheets through here, and what comes out are cut boosted stripes. This machine's really cool. We bought it probably 3 to 4 months into business, and it's a beast. It cuts things amazing. In order to buy a piece of machinery for a business that you have, like, it's a really big investment. Investing our cash into a machine like this, it's an asset. We own it, and although it depreciates, it holds value. So even after owning it for a couple years, this thing still has value. Super proud of it because we paid for it. Boosted Stripes was created, and we were able to, machinery that we didn't start with, we were able to afford in order to kind of grow and scale our business. And although it doesn't have the same exact meaning to you, I'm sure that you'd be able to relate in a sense of, like, when you are trying to build something bigger and you need more expensive tools in order to grow, you know, typically it's very difficult to afford those. So like when you're able to do something for yourself and invest in yourself, there's a bunch of gratitude you start to feel. So again, super proud of this machine. I know it's just a cutter, it's no big deal, but what it symbolizes is it's an investment in Boosted Stripes. It's an asset to our business that's been with us and have been able to help us grow since the beginning. Whoa. And then to the opposite of that machine, we have this machine. So this machine is obviously a miniature version. This is what we started with. I don't think it's the exact one we started with Boosted Stripes. They've gone through a ton of just movement. So they are very strong, but if you overuse them, they will break. So I think this is our second or our third one. This one is just a simple craft cutter that pretty much anyone could buy. It's not super expensive. And this is what we'll do, small run inventory when we're not trying to cut a lot of stripes or we're just doing a one-off special kit. Like, this is the machine that will put them through. It's kind of like the baby, and that's the daddy. More artwork. What do you guys think? Starting on the left. Okay, yeah, it would be left, right? Alright, starting here. A poster by Kick Posters. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with him at Kick Posters. He does a lot of work with Adidas, and he illustrates sneakers, boxes, different setups of different shoes that are new releases. And although we've never talked with him or met him personally, we've ordered from his site and we've reached out a couple times because we do think he would be a cool person to collaborate with. We felt that, you know, it would be awesome to have an Ultra Boost poster hanging in our office. A 1.0 Ultra Boost, 2.0 Ultra Boost, and a 3.0 Ultra Boost. And we thought it was a really cool, unique poster. We kept them all in white. We were thinking maybe we'll put some boosted stripes on them to color it up, but ended up leaving, you know, his artwork as is. put it in a frame, and we think it's really cool. We have another shot by Lewis at Ill Vibe. I should say him and 215 Shooter, if you're familiar, 215 Shooter, and then Ill Vibe. They're both from Philadelphia. They both shoot together. So both this shot and the shot of the Chinese New Year was done by them, and he threw it up. Kind of a classic shot that you'll see a lot, but it was really cool to see kind of the clouds against the camo with the blue and the green. I think just made it a very cool photo. And then on the far right over here, we have a soccer ball that was painted by Brandon Brew. I don't know much about Brandon. My old business partner Dylan had gone to an event, and this was one of the items that was gifted at the event. His creative take on a soccer ball. No two colors touch each other, and they're all created by like these line segments. It's a unique type soccer ball that you're seeing here. On to the next one, on to the next one. Wow, this one's about to be the best out. Check it out. I don't know the best way to show you, but this is our sneaker wall. I just made up that name. I don't know if it's really gonna be our sneaker wall. I think it'll be a better like video set type shoot area, but right now it's the sneaker wall. So let me show you. So right here is where we keep most of the shoes that we're working on. As you can see on the shelf, we've got Ultra Boost 19, Ultra Boost 19, nice kicks by Woodstock, Ultra Boost. Down in the end, we have our Yeezy Boost 700s. Down low, we've got a ton of Vans and Puma. I'm doing a special project with them, so that's why I have those here. Check these out. This is our motivational 4-stack of, I guess they're mirrors. I made all of these when we first moved in. Our old office, they had a ton of these blank mirrors and they were just throwing them away. Hey, I could do something cool with them. Maybe decorate my new office. I'll take them. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar. I follow Iconic. They make artwork and it is such a cool account. They do really well selling. If you're familiar, like they have a bunch of big investors like Gary Vaynerchuk, Scooter Braun. I just kind of took inspiration of like motivational quotes from the artwork they have and kind of made my own. It was cheaper, free. Doesn't look necessarily as perfect. It says, you chose this crazy life. This path isn't always clear, but there always is a path. Figure it out and execute. So I think these are really unique. I also kind of came up with the whole thing. How did I come up with this? It started with this one, and it started with the idea of like the mirror not being see-through. So I was like trying to use words like fuzzy, blank, confusing, and then came up with isn't always clear. As I did that, I tried to come up with some kind of rhythm of statements that were each 5 words. It was hard to always get 5 words. In this one, I have Issa instead of just like one word. I mean, I guess I could have made my own word, Issa. It's a path, but yeah. So we came up with, you chose this crazy life. The path isn't always clear, but there always is a path. Figure it out and execute. I think that's really important. You can wake up every day and you can pick what you want to do. You don't have to live the social norm. You don't have to do what everyone else does. You can wake up and decide, this is what I want to do. So you choose your life, whether it be crazy, whether it be normal, however you want to live it, you get to choose it. No matter what, you will always run into problems. It is impossible to live a perfect life. This exemplifies that. The path isn't always clear. You might not know exactly what you're doing. Even though the path isn't always clear, there is always a path. There's a wrong way, there's a right way, there's a zigzag way. No matter what, there's always a path. Whatever hole you dig into, there's a way out of that. Whether it's continue digging down, to the side, to the left, to up, no matter what, there is always a path. And you just have to figure it out, right? So that leads to the next one. Figure it out and execute. Without execution, it doesn't matter what you figure out. You could be the brightest person in the world, but if you don't execute on your ideas, none of them come to be anything. So that is why not only are you figuring it out, you're executing as well. And you know, maybe these lines, these words don't stick with you or resonate with you. This was what I was able to build and make resonate with me. But I think it's a very good idea to have something to live by, whether you make your own motto, whether you choose someone else's. I think it is so important to realize what you are doing, why you are doing it, and you can't lose focus. You can't lose hope. And I think that's what these 4 boards really exemplify for me. Every day when I walk in, those are the first 4 things I see. I'm not gonna lie, it gets me jacked up. I get in the morning ready just to, you know, tear some up. Over here, we got the boosted kick shelf. It's where all of our boosted kicks are. The UB19, the Ultra Boost 4.0, the Pod S3.1, the NMDs, 2 pairs, triple black and 1 customized by Dylan from DeJesus Custom Footwear. I'm not sure if you can see below, but a couple more pairs of uncaged Ultra Boost. This is like when you open the door to our office, this is the first thing you see, and then it's these signs. So we wanted to make sure right when you open that door, you're like, dang, look at those. So this is by Oh It's Teddy. It's a sick t-shirt. We got it from him in Toronto at a sneaker con. That was the first time we met him. Oh It's Teddy does a lot of artwork type, tattoo-esque style that he does on clothing, sweatshirts, and then he'll also release a bunch of stickers. He's released a couple different prints. I think there might have been a puzzle too. Also travels around the United States doing like a tour where people can stop in and get tattoos by him. So he's a really cool creative guy. If you haven't checked him out, I think all of his social media is at Oh It's Teddy. Anyways, we bought that shirt from him in Toronto at SneakerCon, and at that time both of us were traveling around the United States and the world technically, going to all these different sneaker events. It's really cool to get to meet him and to also support his business, and from that we've actually built a relationship where we talk. Not like crazy amount, but maybe once or twice every couple months we'll shoot some messages back and forth, just seeing how things are going. Hopefully in the future we'll see a collaboration with him. We just haven't found that perfect idea yet. Obviously the coolest shoes in the world, and then a dope shirt on top of it by Teddy. And there's a coffee. I don't really make coffee that often. It has to do with I just leave the water in there and I don't want to drink the sitting water. I don't know, my own personal issues. So move on to the cooler thing. You see, these are all hand painted by Dylan DeJesus. He was my first business partner, and that was the first business I had started. So these all are very meaningful to me. Up here we have a pair painted with Kanye West art on Yeezy. We have a floral Jordan 3. Animal, it's called What the Animal, Air Force One. Down here we have these cleats, we call them Freedom Fighters. They have like the USA flag across, gold swoosh, and the Army toe. The Chicago Jordan Eclipse. It's kind of got the skyline and then the 4 stars across the toe. Here we've got this Bel Air. So this shoe actually went viral on Facebook when we had first started our business, and it got shared like 70,000 times, something like that. This was our best-selling shoe. We actually probably sold at least 500 pairs of these at around 250 bucks a pop. You guys could do the math, but this was what really started kind of our momentum and actually being able to start a business. Like once you get that momentum, it's how do you redirect it? And this was the shoe that really kind of gave us the capital to keep growing and building. An IU shoe, and then we got a Northwestern shoe. My mom went to Northwestern, it's in Chicago, that's why I have it. IU, I went to Indiana, it's in Indiana, and it's my school. So we made a pair. I think it's pretty cool. I keep them as a little memento. All right, wow! I'm not sure if you guys remember, but on MTV Cribs, they used to always say, "You seen my house, you seen my cars, now it's time for you to get the..." Like, I'm not gonna do that. I got even more to tell you about. I think a lot of times when someone goes through, they show you their things, they show you their house, they show you their cars. I didn't show you that part, but like, it comes off as kind of bragging in a sense. And I don't want this video whatsoever to come off as bragging. At the end of the day, I am super proud to have this office, and it's not the nicest office. It doesn't look like Ronnie Feig's office in Kith. It doesn't look like the Adidas office, but this is my office. You know, this is Boosted Stripes' office. We took an idea that we had 2.5 years ago, and this is now where it's based. It didn't start this way. We didn't magically end up here. It took a lot of hard work. So I think to be able to like go from, you know, you're living in this hole in a sense, like trying so hard to make your dream a reality, that finally, like when I've taken my head out and, you know, here we are 2.5 years later, and I'm like, it's pretty sweet. Like, this is my office that I get to go to every day, that I'm trying to build this idea that I so believe in and that I love. And I think that's so incredible, and it's very rare that someone gets to do that. And I guess like in a sense I'm living proof. Like, I don't want you to all of a sudden look at this and look at it as unobtainable, because that's not how this is. This has taken 2.5 years of work, and through different steps we've been able to grow into this. It didn't come at day one, and some of these things that you saw in here came yesterday. So it's just it's an ever-changing environment that we're in, And I hope that like seeing something like this builds inspiration in you to chase your dreams and to chase what you want, because it is possible. It just takes a lot of work, and you've got to be willing to come in at 6 a.m. and leave at 8 p.m. And if you can't do that, you're never going to be able to expand.